What's up, guys? Today we're going to be looking at a MHS hilt that I did for a client. This hilt was sent to me just raw aluminum, or well, actually not raw. It came to me however it comes, like from the custom saber shop. So I went ahead and weathered it up for him. I didn't weather the switch box as the switch itself came wired in already and with a super glue. Um, that just wouldn't really come off from from it. So I went ahead and left that as it was. But I did weather pretty much everything else in the hilt. Um, so this is just some of that weathering. As you can see there is just like little streaks of dirt there. The blade plug matches the the rest of the hilt. There's some dirts there in the crevices there as well, along the pommel. So I went ahead and weathered it all up for him, and of course I went ahead, or I did install this with a crystal chamber. Now, everything. This is a similar hilt to the one that I had installed for this client before. You guys may have seen a video on it, but instead I had a little bit more creative freedom, and I was able to house the board down here as opposed to housing the board in the hilt. Initially, the customer or the first hilt that I had worked on for him, they had requested for a crystal chamber to take up this whole section, and just the speaker down here. But this time I was able to, like I mentioned, have a little bit more creative freedom, and I did find a way to house the profit board down here as well as a crystal chamber, even though it does have a smaller inner diameter. So let's go ahead and show you guys how that looks now. So in order to get to it, you just unscrew the booster section. Now the booster section, I actually did have it sent to Jeremy over at Solo Saber, so a big shout out to him for helping me out with this, so that he can widen up the inner part of the booster section, as this was only like 25 millimeters and I needed it to be 27. So I went ahead and sent it out to him, and he did a great job just doing that. It's nice and clean cuts and everything. So big shout out to Jeremy, and thanks a lot for that. So here is the crystal chamber that we ended up with. Let me get this a little closer. Oh, sorry about that. Just fixing the brightness here. All right, there we go. So yeah, this is a crystal chamber that we came up with. It does kind of go in a little bit down there. Sorry if you guys hear that. My dog is being weird. There as well. To remove the board cover, all you do is kind of just pull this slowly. It is a press fit, so just be mindful of that. And it does have capped on tape in the back. It never really makes contact with it, but it's just a little basically for protection just in case. And in order to put it back, it is just a press fit. So you just sit it over and press it down from the bottom, and then do the same to the top. And that's pretty much it. It won't come off or go loose or anything like that. It is a pretty thin board cover, but there, like I mentioned, there's not really much space to work here. I believe it was like 26 millimeters. So stacking this over the crystal chamber was just something that I tried doing as conservatively as I could. So let's go ahead and remove the kill key. There you can start seeing the crystal chamber light up. It is pulsing. It goes from dim to full, and then just kind of pulses back down. This is your activation. I'll go ahead and put the pommel back on. To put it on, of course, you just slide it back on there. So it does have two switches, of course a recharge port, NeoPixel connector up here. It has an 18650 wired in battery, and this does have its own separate chassis. Basically just holds the battery in as well as the connector. You can unscrew this, but there's never, and this is to the customer, you can unscrew this, but there's never any need to. So, and I would also just recommend that you don't, since the connector is in this section down here. That way you don't risk just moving anything around, but you can unscrew it if you really want to. Now, this one was actually a lot easier to install than the first one. The first one was actually one of the most challenging hilts that I've installed, because with the board being wired up here and me not having any space to actually wire it in there, aside from like a little opening under the switch activation, it was very difficult. But this one, since the board was down here, it went along so smoothly. This one was a lot better to work with. Essentially is what I'm saying. Give me a second. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and insert a blade. So let's remove the blade plug. Blade plug sent by the customer. Oh, actually, I need my 7/8 inch connector or blade adapter, and then my blade. Alright, so there we go. So that's how it looks with the blade. Super nice, very nice looking hilt. So I have it focus. Looks really nice. First is power off.
Heart of the Guardian.
I fear nothing, least of all you.
So I guess you have a choice. You want a war? Everything's gonna be alright, kid. Balan Skull.
Revenge is not the Jedi way.
I am no Jedi.
Knights of the Old Republic.
powerful allies.
I am Bastila Shan.
Son of Corona. Why you come to my hilt, Jedi?
Mantle of the Force.
And we're back to the beginning. So, sorry, I know I didn't really say much, but it's just that I wanted you guys to hear the sound fonts and me cycle through them. So, yeah, that's essentially the hilt. Let's go ahead and remove the pommel so that you guys can see it with the crystal. There's a little awkward posing this here. I just hit my little shelf where I have all my little tools. Disregard that. Alright, well, and to the customer, you know, of course, thank you as always for giving me the opportunity to work on your hilt. This one was actually really fun to work with. I really enjoyed this install. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the blade. And of course, like I always add, you know, I do include twist on. So let me remove the blade for you here. I'll add the blade plug back in there. Put that off to the side. Now the blade plug does sit a little, like, pretty deep in there. This does have a large blade depth of about 1.5 inches, maybe even 2 inches. Or no, about 1.25 inches, I'd say. But so I just try kind of putting it flush there with the nipple kind of just sticking out a little bit. And just tighten it up. Ah, dang it. Let it slip out a little bit. All right. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that to the side. Very nice looking blade plug. I was always a fan of this one. There's a very nice hilt to swing around. Most hilts with control boxes are kind of in the way, but like this feels nice, feels kind of natural. And of course, to charge it, you know, you just get one of these connections and you just plug it in there to the side. And that's pretty much it. I'll make... Oh. Sorry about that. It does twist a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll make sure that once you get this, it is fully charged. And I'll get this shipped out to you as soon as possible, probably tomorrow. So thank you again, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And to the client, I hope you enjoy your hilt.